Herbalife shares getting the life sucked out of them today. Let's talk to Reuters correspondent Ernie Scheider. All right, Ernie, the story coming out of the New York Post today that's saying the Federal Trade Commission is investigating Herbalife. Of course, the backdrop here of Bill Ackman shorting the stock and saying that they're a pyramid scheme. Hedge fund manager Daniel Loeb saying, no, the two of them are butting heads. What's the latest on this? Because it's affecting the stock. It's down 4% today, the story.
Yes, it was down even earlier after the reports came out from the New York Post. And what the Post did basically is file a bunch of FOIA requests with the Federal Trade Commission and got all old customer complaints from the past 7 years. And in there, they found a line referring to a, quote, pending law enforcement action. And so that was rather vague, but, it certainly indicates that, there's heightened interest in the stock. Although recently, just about 10, 15 minutes ago, Herbalife itself came out and said, look, we haven't been approached by the FTC. So while Herbalife stock had been down about 10%, now they sort of, made up some ground and down about 4%. So we've got a lot of ambiguity here right now, and this is really a developing story.
All right, we're going to have to watch and see how this one plays out then. Let's talk about some deals today. Oracle to buy Acme Packet. Now, sounds like a company on Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner.
It really does, doesn't it?
Exactly,
Yeah.
But this is a big deal. This is worth $1.7 billion. Acme Packet is a company that does video and voice speed data for smartphones and things. Is that right?
Yes, it's not child play. This is not Looney Tunes here. Basically, what they do is they secure data as it goes across different types of network, whether that be voice, multimedia, or video. And so it's really important for companies as they continue to go multinational, and you want to send stuff securely, especially in the age of intellectual espionage. Unfortunately, the past year or two, with the economy in a rough spot, Acme Packet stock and its sales have not been doing too well.
Right.
So, but
I think it's down about 18% or something in the last year. Yeah,
exactly. But what Oracle sees is, it likes to buy low, like any buyer, and because it sees the potential here to really boost its product offering for its customers.
Oracle doing well with a series of acquisitions.
Yes.
Yeah, over the past.
Larry Ellison's plan.
Exactly. All right. So Acme shares are right now, Acme Packet up 22%. Oracle, of course, is the buyer, down about 3% today.
Par for the course. Yeah.
Par for the course. All right. Let's move to the hotspot, Ernie. As we do, remember those snaps at the bottom of your screen for more news of the day. Some other stocks that are moving today. Gannett. Better than expected bump in fourth quarter revenue. Of course, the largest U.S. newspaper chain out there, but they're down 5% right now.
Well, when you parse the results here, you notice that for their fourth quarter, they had about an extra week when you compare with the year-over-year figures.
Right.
And this was, of course, during the presidential season, and Gannett also owns a bunch of TV stations. So they were helped not only by the extra week, but also by political advertising spending. And that's not obviously going to happen this November. So a lot of analysts are like, look, there's just a lot of other factors in here right now. What we do know is that, ad spending continues to go down. And basically, you have a consumer that expects news for free. And that's something, we in journalism are trying to face. And, Gannett is facing it especially, yes. And so how do you monetize that? And that's sort of the existential question that Gannett and others are facing. USA Today recently had the relaunch, and that sort of helped them out as well. But how do you further charge and get more consumers to pay for this important resource?
They did have some good news now, because as the print publications, of course, are declining, they did see some boost in their revenue from digital sales from online. I wonder about their demographics, some of their papers like USA Today or the Arizona Republic or some of these cities, local papers, how many people are used to, like you said, really going to ultimately and bringing that much revenue to pay for those subscriptions to those newspapers online, where you can get apps and other things and other ways to get it for free.
Yes, the more you give away news for free, the more you cultivate, just a consumer that expects it for free.
That's right. All right, let's talk about BlackBerry, because today is the first day that it trades under BlackBerry, BBRY.
Can you say that 10 times fast?
I can't. Don't ask me to do that. Bernstein, another B there, research, is upgrading the stock today to outperform price target to 22 from 12. Now, talk about this, because is the hype still going to be there in March, when you can actually get the damn thing in this country? The darn thing, I should say.
Well, I think you still have to remember that BlackBerry appeals to both consumers and also corporate buyers as well, whereas we think of the iPhone as more of a consumer-focused device.
True.
So if I'm a corporate buyer for a large company and I need to buy 1,000 smartphones, I'm going to see the new BlackBerry out there. I'm going to see new life in the company. I'm going to see the new refreshed name, and I'm going to think when it comes time later this year, maybe I'll plop down money for 1,000 of the new BlackBerry 10s. It is a solid device. I tried it out last week myself. I had a chance to try around with the new type function.
Did you?
It really is very intuitive, and it learns what you like to do. And that sounds sort of cheesy, but you just have to try it. But it basically learns words that you use a lot when you type, and so it'll appeal, I think, to a corporate buyer, but I think also to consumers as well.
I thought I was just getting the bump today because Alicia Keys did so well singing the national anthem, the Super Bowl, and she's their new global creative director. I'm not sure exactly what that means.
I think Wall Street does, and that's part of the reason why it's up. I think you're right.
Okay, but stock is up 8% today. Pretty good for BlackBerry. All right, Ernie, thank you so much. I'm going to walk back to the market monitor here, and we're going to take a look at U.S. markets and see how everybody's doing here. Oh, we've got the Dow down over 130 points there. You can obviously see that Wall Street is pulling back given those big gains from last week when the Dow was over 14,000, of course, down below 14,000 today. Analyst downgrades on Dow components, Chevron, and Walmart playing a part here. And the Commerce Department saying factory orders rose in January to 1.8%, but that is below the median forecast of 2.2%. by analysts polled by Reuters. Are we in an economic recovery? Some of the data suggests so, others is more tepid, so we see actually the hesitancy in the markets being reflected today. That does it for us. Remember, follow us on Twitter at Reuters Insider. Check out more great videos at Reuters.com/ReutersTV. I'm Lisa Bernhard. This is Reuters.